How's it going, guys? Decided to release my live stream I did today inside Trading Mastery. We do live streams weekly, as well as I just drop most of my content in there. I do daily market updates on Bitcoin and altcoins. Share most of my setups in there as well. And my trading mentors are in there. They post their setups, charts, etc. We have a ton of educational content. So if you guys do want to join, link will be in the post below. We do have a free trial going right now for you guys. So if you guys want to join, welcome to. Cancel if you want, if you don't like it. But like I said, link will be in the post below if you guys want to join. No pressure to join, but if you want access to some more of my content as well, that's where you'll find it. So back to the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy. So let's start with Bitcoin here. Basically, what I've been looking for is, we just go over what we've been looking for the past little while here and what trends I've been watching. So basically, if we take a look at the 2 hour, we just go here like this, full screen. Okay, there we go. So basically, I've been watching these 2 hour 200s. You can see very cleanly respected for the past quite some time now, actually. Holding as resistance, flipped into support, resistance, support, once again, flipped into resistance. Little fake out here, but reclaimed here and then held right on that EMA test and then continued higher. We had two tests right here, both of them held and continuing higher. And on lower time frames, the trend that I've been watching here, I just use this lower time frame EMA band here to portray my low time frame trend. Basically using this to portray the trend on the way up. You can see how the entire way up here, chopped up here, of course. But also, if we go to the 15-minute 200s, maybe the 30-minute 200s portray it pretty good. Yeah, this EMA band here portrays it pretty well. So basically what I've been looking for here, you can see previous high over here flipped into support very cleanly, especially on the daily time frame here. You can see very cleanly respected, closed nicely above it, and then we got that continuation higher here, right into about 73K. We did take out all these previous highs, but we did just front run this all-time high here. So didn't quite get a sweep of that level, but yeah, almost got there. So basically what I'm looking for here is, what we want to see hold here is basically this trend right here. This is also confluent with the 2 hour 200s here. Basically, this is our uptrend portrayal. So we want to see this trend hold for continuation higher. Getting below this 2 hour 200s here, and especially like losing, basically getting below this level here, so about 66.5, would not be a good look. Basically it starts to look, basically like you have a market structure breakdown here, and we probably get continuation lower, if I had to guess, into these daily 200s here. And then maybe we continue higher from there, but ideally we want to see a breakout happen here and not retrace once again, and then but not look good. So basically what we're looking for here is this general area here between like 67 and 68K area to hold. So right around these 2 hour 200s. And if you take a look here, you can see have a nice bit of support here. So if we just draw a blue box just like this. So basically, this is the area you want to see hold. Ideally, this is where you would enter long. Your stop, you could have the entire way down here, to be honest. Let's just see what the setup would look like. Ideally, to be honest, I wouldn't put my stop the whole way down there. I'd probably have my stops somewhere around this region here and looking for continuation higher from here. So basically, maybe we get some consolidation here. Now, one thing to keep in mind is we do have the election coming up, so that could bring a bunch of volatility here. Probably best not to take too many leverage trades, to be honest, going into the election here because of the volatility. But maybe we see some chop here, dip down into this zone, and then continue higher, reclaim this lower time frame trend, get back above it, and then see that continuation higher into this previous all-time high here and get that breakout, hopefully. So that's the ideal scenario. This is what I'm looking for currently, basically just this general area to hold here and continuation higher. If we get below these 2 hour 200s, then we will at least see a test of these 4 hour 200s, in my opinion. Now, 4 hour 200s are typically respected very well in an uptrend, but to be honest, they haven't been respected like lately. Kind of just chopping through them here, to be honest. That's why I'm using the 2 hour 200s. Pretty clean trend portrayal here. So this is where you want to see it hold to continue uptrending. From here, your targets upon a breakout here basically would be the 1.618 fib extension at $102,000. Now that fib extension is drawn from this basically cycle high to cycle low, get that 1.618 at 102K. Now, of course, I'll stop targeting that level if trends break down and we get some key trend and market structure breaks. I will stop targeting that level. But as long as trends hold, I'm continuing to target that 1.618 fib extension. But yeah, key area to hold here. Let's take a look at ETH. So ETH is honestly still looks like absolute shit. Basically, just getting some consolidation here below these daily 200s here. Basically chopping up any sort of trend in this region except for the very high time frame trend here, these daily 200s, which we are below, unlike Bitcoin, which is above them. But basically just consolidation. You can see we have these series of highs here followed by these higher lows. So eventually this is going to break one way or the other. Maybe we get a breakdown or maybe we break up. Who knows? Now, if we take a look at the weekly 200s, this is what I do find interesting. We have basically held previous time here. So we are consolidating on these weekly 200s here, which does catch my interest, as well as this lower time frame trend here on the weekly. But it is holding as support, as resistance so far. So this trend does need to be flipped. But I kind of do think, to be honest, in hindsight, this area will have looked like a pretty decent area to buy. Like if you come back to this in like 2 or 3 months or something, I do think this area will have looked like a pretty good area to buy, and we had continuation higher from there. But to be honest, I'm just not interested in it right now, because obviously just chopping up more interesting coins out there, and Bitcoin is trending a lot nicer right now. So keeping my attention on Bitcoin for now. If we do want to see continuation higher here for Ethereum, basically what you want to see here, it's basically some sort of breakout above this area, consolidation, and continuation higher into that 4K level. This $2,800 level is really the key area to flip. So anything below this, not too interesting, to be honest, for me. But if we do get a flip of this level into support, that's when I'll get interested in a move up to about $4,000. And ETH BTC is at key high time frame support here. So who knows, maybe we get some sort of, everybody is kind of drawing this area of support on their chart. Everybody's paying attention to it. So maybe what happens is we end up just falling below it. Everybody loses hope, and then we start to see continuation higher from there. Who knows? Just a thesis. But everybody does have eyes on the support level. So oftentimes in crypto, if everybody is watching the same level, either we front run it or we go below it for go the other direction. So we'll have to see. But basically ETH, yeah, need to see that breakout before I have really any interest in it. Okay, taking a look at a few altcoins here, just going over them quickly. Let's just see which ones I have on my chart. Okay, so MOG, basically what has my interest here is these 4-hour 200s holding as resistance and flipped into support. So basically, as long as these 4-hour 200s hold, I am continuing to look for higher, ideally break out into price discovery from here. Now, one thing to keep in mind with these altcoins is Bitcoin dominance is on the rise right now. And I kind of do think that altcoins are going to perform poorly here for a bit till Bitcoin gets that breakout into price discovery. You might get short bursts here and there with altcoins, but I do think until Bitcoin breaks out above all-time highs and then starts consolidating a bit, then I think altcoins will catch up. But in the meantime, I do think altcoins might underperform here. Obviously, the past few weeks, altcoins have been a lot weaker than Bitcoin typically. Now, of course, there's just a few here and there that are running, but for the most part, a lot of them are weaker than Bitcoin. And Bitcoin just dumps a tiny bit, and altcoins dump double digits. So, but basically, just going over altcoins briefly here. So MOG, 4-hour 200s are what you want to see hold. Basically, hold this area here for continuation higher into price discovery. If you're looking for a long, ideally, what you would do, enter on a test of these 4-hour 200s, looking for a higher low to form here, and then targeting price discovery from there. Now, one thing I am noticing here on lower time frames, to be honest, I was going to say a sweep of this low, but not the reaction I want to see, to be honest. But basically, yeah, 4-hour 200s, consolidate, look for a continuation higher from there. Okay, so AP, however you say this, I was watching 4-hour 200s, but it looks like it has broken down here. Maybe if it can get back above them, I'll look for continuation higher. Something like this would be what I want to see here. So you stop here. Look for continuation higher from there. Yeah, kind of break it down for this daily trend as well. Not necessarily what you want to see, to be honest, but we did sweep this low here, so maybe that's the bottom. But like I said, you're going to want to see breakout above this resistance and then continuation higher from there. So kind of losing my interest here, but if we do get a reclaim, that will catch my interest once again. Okay, Pepe. So this did have my interest earlier on, basically what I was looking for here. Let me just delete this. Go like this and turn off this trend here. I was playing this as sort of a range, so I was looking for this reclaim here. We got that reclaim, and I was looking for this retest here. We got the retest, bid this retest, looking for continuation higher into these highs and resistance here. We did get a nice push up, but was immediately faded and breaking down. So close that position for a loss, is what it is. But this did have my interest, but it's kind of, to be honest, just bleeding out right now. Not too much interest in it. Now, what I will say is if Ethereum starts, here's the deal with Pepe. It kind of performs, it kind of hinges on how ETH performs. So if ETH starts to show strength, then Pepe typically starts to show some strength. So if ETH does start to pick up, I do think Pepe will rip quite a bit. For now, not too interested in it, to be honest. Maybe if we get, yeah, just a lot choppier, to be honest. I want to start to see some trending price action before I look to trade this, to be honest. Okay, moving on. Ape. Okay, this is a total shitcoin, to be honest. The only thing that caught my attention here was this. Strong weekly candle. Flip of this weekly trend, as well as this basically support here. Previous resistance flipped into support. Basically a point of breakdown here too, where we broke down below it. Continuation lower, reclaiming that point of breakdown. Weekly trend here. If we zoom in, 4-hour 200s as well, which have been respected historically here. So even tested it with a quick wick here. Absolute shitcoin, to be honest. I do not even know why this pumped so much here. But if it were going to continue higher, it's going to hold, in my opinion, it has to hold here. Whoops, there we go, something like that. And we see this high next. Yeah, that just caught my interest, so I had it on my watch list here. Basically, you just need to see this weekly trend hold as well as the support here. I want to see the weekly close above it and that 4-hour 200s hold on lower time frames. See that continuation higher. I mean, how much was this pump here? That's like 137%. Yeah, pretty crazy. But yeah, that's what caught my attention. Basically, just need to hold this weekly trend flip here. Okay, Doge. So a lot of people interested in Doge at the moment. Basically, what you want to see here on lower time frames, if I'm remembering correctly, is this 1-hour 200 trend. Yeah, very nice 1-hour 200 trend. We are currently testing it once again here. So basically, as long as this 1-hour 200 trend holds, continuing to look for continuation higher. See, next level right here would be about 19-cent area. Above there, I'd watch 22-cent, 30-cent, and then of course, all-time high. So what you want to see is that 1-hour 200 trend hold. If we get below the 1-hour 200 trend, we probably see a test of this 4-hour 200s. Decent trend. I wonder what 6-hour 200s look like, to be honest. Pretty decent. But yeah, I'm going to say 4-hour 200s. Basically, hold here. If not, probably get a dip into the support, and maybe 4-hour 200s are confluent with that area. But what you want to see now, this is forming up pretty nicely, to be honest, along these 1-hour 200s. So what I'd be looking to do, bid 1-hour 200s, looking for continuation higher into that next level. All right, moving on here. Okay, let's see here. ENA, however you say it. Flipping this key resistance here into support. Looking for this 51-cent area next if it holds. Now, on lower time frames, 4-hour 200s was what I was watching here as the trend. Kind of getting choppy here, to be honest. But if we can hold this general area here, just hold this general area, get a nice breakout, consolidate, continuation higher. But invalidation, basically breaking below this level here, that's where you'd want to de-risk right here. So any breakdown below here, not looking too good in my opinion. It is getting kind of choppy here, so a lot of times when you get this choppy price action, to be honest, you see some sort of possibly liquidity sweep, so maybe take out these lows here, stop out some leverage, and then get that continuation higher. Yeah, basically 4-hour 200s need a hold here. All right, FTM, to be honest, was interesting, not too interesting anymore. 4-hour 200s, I was keeping an eye on. Kind of just range bound here, to be honest. Right against support, high time frame support, and high time frame resistance. So one of these is eventually going to break. You could look for just blindly bidding this support, but to be honest, not too interested in that. Now, maybe a test of daily 200s here would catch my interest, because support, resistance, hopefully flipped into support here, and I can see that continuation higher. Breaking down below these daily 200s would not look good. Probably see a move down into at least that level there, in my opinion. Yeah, not too much interest in trading this right now. And a lot of altcoins look like this, just choppy price action, kind of slow bleeding. There's a few out there we'll get to that look good, but for the most part, a lot of altcoins probably not worth trading right now, to be honest. Okay, Jupiter. High time frame support, as well as this daily trend here. So basically what you want to see here is this area hold for continuation higher. Any breakdown below this area, not looking too good. You're getting acceptance back into this previous range. Now, maybe what happens is you get a test of this demand here and then see continuation from there. This area would be kind of interesting to me, to be honest, kind of like that general area, something like that. But to be honest, what ideally needs to hold is this high time frame support. Lower time frames, 4-hour 200s are here as well. Maybe you see a sweep of this low, to be honest. You know what? This is actually catching my interest here. Let's just delete some of these here. Okay, so it's trying to hold high time frame support here, but I mean, if you got a sweep of this low into this daily demand into 4-hour 200s as well as daily demand, that would be nice. Something like that. This actually does catch my interest here. Ideally, it holds here, and on lower time frames, what you'd want to see is a reclaim of these 1-hour 200s, which held as support on the way up. So you'd want to see it flipped into support and then look for continuation higher. So flip 1-hour 200s, or we get that test of 4-hour 200s. Okay, Pendle has been showing some decent strength. 1-hour 200s is what you want to pay attention to, holding as support on the way up, flipped into resistance once it was lost, and trying to hold as support again. So as long as it holds as support, continue to look for higher. Probably take out this rogue wick here. I don't know what this spike up was, but at least get to that level. Below it, that would be your invalidation. Basically, 1-hour 200s want to hold and look for continuation higher. Below it, kind of just getting choppy. Not worth too much pay attention. Maybe over the weekend this runs, it has been showing some strength. So probably worth paying attention to be honest. One of the better looking altcoins. Okay, so meme coin. I don't even know how you say this, to be honest. Ponky or something. Punk. I don't know. But it is testing this high time frame resistance. And if it does flip this, I mean, it's a straight run to all-time highs. So I have been paying attention to this. Basically, 4-hour 200s is the higher time frame trend here. Lower time frame trend, 1-hour 200s is pretty decent. I wonder what this 4-hour low time frame trend looks like. To be honest, the way it's respecting this previous high, if it holds here, that looks pretty good for continuation higher from here. Now, if you want to wait for 1 hour 200s test. So maybe something like this here. Did this blue box area. And then look for continuation higher. To be honest, this is what I kind of be more interested in. You see a test of this area, take a swing long here, stops below, look for continuation higher. Pretty decent setup in my opinion. Also flushes out some of this leverage, trying to ape in here, trying to get that continuation higher. Flush them out and then get that continuation higher. Okay, Popcat. So Popcat, to be honest, price action for me to trade Popcat is not very clean. Like this price action just grinding higher slowly. You kind of have to catch the perfect entries, like here, here. You can't bid here and hope for continuation higher, or here, because you just get flushed out every time. Just very toxic kind of grinding uptrend. 1 hour 200s was nice, but kind of being chopped up. To be honest, what you want to see is probably, I wonder what 3 hour 200s or 2 hour 200s look like. Okay, 2 hour 200s is what I'm going to say to pay attention to. This has been like the uptrend portrayal the entire way up. So as long as it holds, I would say continue looking for higher. This breaks down, maybe we get a test of this wick here. Who knows? But 2 hour 200s are what you want to see hold for continuation higher. Okay, Rune is interesting. Catching my interest here. Basically flipping this previous resistance into support. Zoom into the 1 hour 200s here. Now, what you want to take a look at here is basically chopped up here, but what was it respecting on the previous uptrend into this price action was the 1 hour 200s. You see, support, resistance, support, chopped up, and now that we are breaking out and hopefully uptrending once again, probably respects the 1 hour 200s again, which it looks like it is, holding that support so far. So as long as 1 hour 200s, I would say target this high, and next level would be this resistance here. This daily trend is also confluent with it, which is pretty nice. But yeah, just need to see 1 hour 200s hold here for continuation higher. As long as it holds, look for continuation higher. If it gets below this here, I'd say cut. Probably continues lower into 4 hour 200s at that point. Yeah, ideally see 1 hour 200s hold for continuation into this high. Okay, so say here or SEI, cover this quickly. Basically, not too ideal below 4 hour 200s holding as resistance. Now, there is a chance this is a range, so we get a reclaim, retest, and maybe continue higher from here. See 4 hour 200s flipped into support and continuation higher. So really the region you want to see hold is here. Breaking down below that would not look too good. Probably just continues to bleed out here. So really what you want to see here is it hold right here as this retest, basically reclaim, retest, and then continue higher. That's really the only hope I see for this chart, to be honest. Otherwise, probably just continues to bleed out as it is below the daily 200s and the 4 hour 200s. Okay, Solana. This is the level you need to see hold. Support, daily trend. We want to see continuation higher from here. Losing that would be getting acceptance back into this previous range and probably continue lower from there. 4 hour 200s, whoops, let me delete this real quick. 4 hour 200s also confluent. So just need to see this region hold for continuation higher, getting below it, basically breaking down below it, getting below its 4 hour 200s, and acceptance back into the previous range would not look good, and probably see continuation lower from there. So you want to see this area hold. Lower time frames, 1 hour 200s would be the lower time frame trend. So instead of just bidding here, if you're looking for a trade setup on it, you could wait for a reclaim of these 1 hour 200s and then look for continuation higher from there. To be honest, it's shaping up kind of nice here. Kind of like a bleed lower into a higher low, maybe. Who knows? We'll have to see. Okay, spec. So I was interested. This chart was basically breaking out this high time frame range. It is still interesting, to be honest, trying to hold the daily trend, but just the price action is kind of odd, to be honest. As long as 4-hour 200s hold, I would say continue targeting higher. Really, the next target is just all-time high. Not too many targets other than that. But 4-hour 200s is the key trend to hold. As long as it holds, I would continue to target higher. Gets below it, not too interested in it then. Okay, so SUI, basically what I would be looking for here. So 4-hour 200s do look like they're getting respected. Support wasn't tested the entire way up here though, but held as resistance and looks to be flipping into support on lower time frames. What you want to be watching here is these 1-hour 200s. Resistance flipped into support. So basically what I'm looking for here is as long as 1-hour 200s hold, I'm continuing to look for higher. If it breaks down below 1-hour 200s, that's when I would look to cut. Not interested. And whoops, sorry about that. Try test. Let me see here what region we're retesting. Whatever this level is, 170. Yeah. So ideally, this is to be honest, looking pretty good here. I like how this price action here, it did get that pump with Bitcoin this morning and then sold off. But this consolidation kind of looks good, especially if it can start to break out here in lower time frames. We could see continuation higher over the weekend into that high maybe. And ideally higher than that. We'll have to see, but just need to see 1-hour 200s hold. Let's see what else. Okay, so Tau, I don't even know how you say this. Okay, so we did get a test of the daily 200 EMA there. Somebody just joined here. Yo, Ed Kim, I just saw you joined. If you have any chart requests, by the way, I'm just chatting to myself here, by the way. Oh, it's going great. I just got back from the gym a bit ago, so I figured to jump on here and do a quick charting session. Yeah, figured I could upload it so other people can watch later if they want, instead of posting about 100 charts. Just going over it briefly. So what I was looking for here, basically this, okay, so the chart doesn't look that great. Just slow bleed lower. Let me just drop out my watch list here for you. So I went over like Pepe, Ape, Doge. Here's the whole list here on the side. I'll leave this open for you. I went through all of those, but hey, if you need me to cover one again, I can go ahead and cover one. Just go over it if you have any chart requests or anything. I don't mind going over it for you again. So basically what I was looking for here, so like I was saying, just slowly lower, basically 4-hour 200s was what kind of I was hoping we're going to hold. 1-hour 200s, kind of a nice downtrend portrayal here. Now, the only hope I really saw here is this daily 200 EMA. So I kind of like this tap of the daily 200 EMA. I was looking for a tap of this daily 200 EMA, get back above, ideally kind of this breakdown here. So what you want to see is, okay, so now that we got the tap of the daily 200 EMA, basically what I'd look for here is a reclaim of this kind of point of breakdown here. So if we just put this right here, you can see price action was holding this level up until this point, broke down here. So ideally what you want to see is continuation higher, reclaim, ideally a bit more of a reclaim, retest, and then look for that continuation higher. Now, 1-hour 200s might be the trend to watch here. To be honest, what I kind of would watch here is this really low time frame trend, this gray EMA band here, holding as resistance on the way down. If we can flip it, as well as that point of breakdown, trend pulls up somewhere around here, maybe we get a retest, and that's when I'd look for continuation higher. Now that we got that daily 200 EMA tap here. If it breaks down below this daily 200 EMA, at that point, basically you're getting acceptance back below this high time frame level here. Wouldn't look too good then. You're getting all this consolidation is breaking down at that point. So really to save the chart, you need to see a quick reclaim here. And then I think you can see continuation higher from there. Okay. Sure, I'll cover them then. Okay, TIA, let me just go over this real quick. Not interested in this chart, to be honest. Just ranging price action. I did think before I was hoping it had a chance at a breakout here, but failed to break out. Still ranging. Only hope, to be honest, I really see is a sweep of this low, you want to see a quick reclaim for continuation higher. Otherwise, to be honest, this just probably keeps bleeding lower. Okay, so with I'll just cover high time frame really quick because the 4-hour 200s, as well as basically all the trends, not really clean, just simply chopping people up. Ideally, what I would want to see here is consolidation on these daily 200s and continuation higher. Getting below these daily 200s, as well as kind of this level here, as well as here, breaking down below it, doesn't look too good. Maybe you get a test of kind of this demand here and then see continuation. But ideally, you want to see some sort of consolidation here and then see an uptrend start to form that we can look to play into for that continuation higher. All right, so let's just see here. APT. What was the other one? AVAX. And Bark. Okay, so Aptos. Okay, so this is a new layout for Tensor. So I don't have any levels drawn here because I did just switch up my charts a bit in case you didn't notice. Let me draw some key levels here real quick. So I kind of watched that support. There we go. A bit of resistance here. Okay, now we have some levels to work with. Okay, 4-hour. So 4-hour 200s weren't really tested on the way up. I mean, 3-hour 200s really obscure time frame. But either way, whichever trend you use is kind of being chopped up here. So I would say probably a lower time frame trend is what you want to watch. What does this weekly low time frame trend look like? Okay, so this is what I'm kind of noticing here. Let's go back to the daily time frame. Let me make it so we can see this level on the weekly. Go back to the weekly time frame. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So if you take a look at this low time frame, I could say low time frame, but this is the weekly trend here. It's not the weekly 200s, but it is the lower time frame trend. I use just the EMA band. Basically, you can see holds as resistance on the way down. Once it's reclaimed, flipped into support on the way up, and flipped into resistance on the way down, and holding as support now. So ideally, what I would say is you want to see this area here hold for continuation higher. As long as that holds, I mean, I'd say that looks pretty good for continuation higher. Now, lower time frames, daily 200s here, also pretty decent trend portrayal. It also lines up basically with that weekly trend there. So basically holding this general area is what you want to see. As far as lower time frame trends, I mean, 4-hour 200s is chopped up here. 1-hour 200s could be maybe getting respected here. 2-hour 200s maybe even. I would say 2-hour 200s to be honest. A little bit chopped up here, but for the most part, kind of portrays your trend. So getting back above the 2-hour 200s, and then you could look for higher. I mean, other than simply just bidding this general area here. I mean, to be honest, yeah. Basically, this area on a high time frame looks pretty good for continuation higher. Get below like these daily 200s and everything, kind of breaking below all of this then. Okay, AVAX. Let's see here. So draw this level here. So it is testing some support here. which it is below. Now, one thing I would take into note here is it is below these daily 200s, which are holding as resistance. So ideally, you want to see these reclaimed. Now, let's see what trend. Maybe 1 hour 200s. Not really. Kind of ish. What do 2 hour 200s look like? 2 hour 200s look pretty decent. It seems like a lot of coins are respecting 2 hour 200s, to be honest. Bitcoin is as well. But support, resistance, support, resistance. So flipping 2 hour 200s, I would say, is what you want to see. See if there's anything else to notice here. Not really. But yeah, basically a flip of 2 hour 200s, I would say, is what I would be looking for. Now, this support level, you could just bid this support level, to be honest. If you wanted something, if you were going to bid this support, what I would say the setup would look like is something like this. Have your stop below like this price action here. Now, I will say this is like this is the third test of this area. So, to be honest, I don't know if I would blindly bid this area. I probably wouldn't. Also, with like the election coming up, it's kind of, yeah, some volatility as well. And I kind of think altcoins are just, I mean, here on the weekend, I think altcoins could get a push higher. But I kind of think what altcoins are waiting for is, let me just go over this real quick. Okay, so this is a Bitcoin. I kind of think altcoins just kind of underperform until Bitcoin does something like this. And then, so we get a breakout here. And then once you see Bitcoin start to consolidate, that's when I think altcoins probably start to run. Maybe even the consolidation happens before then or something. Maybe altcoins run before then. But I kind of think, I mean, ideally what you want to see is all the money flowing into Bitcoin here to get us that breakout. Seeing all these altcoins run and everything before then, I don't know. I just would have, it's a lot more healthy in my opinion to see all the money going into Bitcoin, get that breakout, and then see some consolidation, and then you see money flow into altcoins as Bitcoin consolidates, and then we see that run higher. So I just don't know how much altcoins run before then. But yeah, testing support, ideally flipping that 2 hour 200s, and then daily 200s is what you want to see reclaimed. But I mean, really where you're going to see, this is really the key level to flip on high time frame here. Once that's flipped into support, you probably get a decent push higher than, in my opinion. Okay, ARC. Wonder what the weekly looks like. Okay, so basically this area needs to hold. If this holds, you probably get a push back up into this 70-cent area and then probably above there, to be honest. If this starts to bleed out below this level, you're probably slow bleeding lower, just chopping around. Now, trend-wise, 4 hour 200s would have been nice to see hold, which has broken down. Maybe it's just to take out this liquidity below this low. I mean, this chart is kind of illiquid, at least on Binance. So what I'd say you want to see is 4 hour 200s reclaimed here. And then you can look for that continuation higher. Below 4 hour 200s, I wouldn't mess with it, to be honest. If it gets back above 4 hour 200s, then I would look to possibly play into that and look for continuation higher from there. Something like that. Basically, what you're betting on there is reclaim of this weekly level, flip it into support, and then continuing higher with kind of like a higher low here on the weekly. Now, retracing this entire candle here and closing below, not the greatest, as well as taking into account this area was tested a bunch of times previously. But daily 200s is the other deal, kind of resistance here. Ideally, you would want to to have seen it hold this area here with daily 200s, but instead it got back below it, and you can see back tested it, immediately sold off. Even these wicks here are selling off. So you can tell it's very much respecting these like key trends here. Like, it's funny how sometimes these illiquid coins really respect these trends. Like daily 200s, you zoom in, 4-hour 200s, you can see here, tested on the dot, 200 EMA here. This is probably like someone twat buying it or something here, to be honest, or some algo doing it, holding perfectly on each test and then breaking down. Even here, you get that little wick back into it before continuing lower. So what I'd really say, yeah, you need to see 4-hour 200s reclaimed, and ideally those 2-hour 200s, those daily 200s reclaimed as well before you look for higher. Until then, I probably wouldn't mess with it, to be honest, because if it was going to be a liquidity sweep below this low over here, this would have been it, and you would have seen continuation higher. Instead, it swept this level, back tested daily 200s, and it's just selling off. So it's just a sign of weakness. You want to see some strength shown before I would want to get interested in it. Okay. Let's just see what these charts are doing here real quick. SUI. Would be nice to get a breakout here. Rune. Nice. I like that. Okay. Let's take a look. Okay. This chart has my attention. I like this. Interesting. Okay, so let's see what the 200s look like. 4-hour, 1-hour, 2-hour. I wonder what they look. Yeah, nice. Okay, so I really like this, to be honest. This looks way better than AVAX or ARC, either one of them. This is a chart I can get, yeah, very much interested in. Okay, so take a look here at the daily. I wonder what the weekly looks like. Okay, I kind of like that. Would have been nice if the weekly closed up a bit more here, but okay, so you can see breakout, and this uptrend is kind of interesting just to grind higher here. Kind of reminds me of like PopCat, where it's just kind of grinding higher. But you can see here, breakout. Ideally, this is a retest, even though this kind of broke out before, got stuck. Retracing this entire pump, not too great, but it is at a key area here. You can see EMA band here holding as support. And if we zoom into the 2-hour 200s, resistance, support. Very clear uptrend here. So as long as these 2-hour 200s hold, I'd say continue to look for higher. Basically, my invalidation here would be a break below this level here. That would be where I would cut. But this looks pretty good as long as it holds these 2-hour 200s. Breaking down below it. Okay, so first of all, retracing this entire pump, not too bullish. But if this trend can remain intact here and we get continuation higher, next level I would look for, I'd probably just take some off here at this high. And actually, interesting, did not sweep this high. Front ran it. I wonder if it swept it. It probably swept it on Bybit or something, I'm guessing. Let's just take a look. Switching up my letters here. I bet it swept it on Bybit, to be honest. Nope, front ran it as well. Okay, interesting. So maybe it comes back up here to take out that liquidity as well. Who knows? But yeah, 2-hour 200s is what you want to see hold for continuation higher here. Setup, if you're just bidding like right now, something like this. That would kind of be the setup. Now, keep in mind, Bitcoin dominance is on the rise. So who knows how, yeah, altcoins perform. But yeah. 2-hour 200s hold, look for continuation higher. And that is all the altcoins I have. Any others you wanted me to cover? How did the daily close on Rin? That looks pretty good. Nice. Nice. I kind of think altcoins, if Bitcoin doesn't ruin the party, I think altcoins have a chance to run here over the weekend. If Bitcoin decides not to just ruin the party here. This price action here, to be honest though, just really quickly, you covered everything I was interested in. Sure, I'll take a look at Brett. This, just really quick, this price action here is interesting. It reminds me of, where was this previous price action? I'm trying to remember now. There was a bottom that it put in that it reminded me of. Here. Reminds me of this price action right here. This weird bottom formation that we got where we get that pump. Like we got that move up, move down, and then kind of this rounded bottom before continuing higher. I don't know. It's kind of giving me that same sort of vibes here. We kind of get this pump, and then this rounded sort of bottom before continuing higher. Okay, let me take a look here. Brett. What's the chart? Probably Mexi has the most history. Bit of resistance there. This is probably holding as support. Say somewhere about there. And trend is on. Ooh, I mean, obviously kind of ranging here, to be honest. A lot of people, there's some people I respect on Twitter that keep posting this, to be honest. Constantly showing it. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of just choppy price action here. So if you're trading it, I mean, not too interested in trading this price action here. As far as higher time frames, I mean, kind of what you want to see here is, so 4-hour 200s, kind of the trend to watch. I mean, holding as resistance on the way down, flipped into support, but getting chopped up here. So I would say, I mean, if you're looking for a breakout here, the only thing that would get me interested here is basically a break back above this level here. So some sort of trend, ideally confluent with this. Kind of, if it had a move up here like now, I mean, this would kind of be a double bottom formation. Yeah, I mean, kind of this level here is what you want to see reclaimed here for continuation higher. Now, if you're just buying to hold in hopes that it goes up, I mean, probably if you just want to draw a random trend line, something like this, who knows. Basically, you don't want to see this consolidation here break down, in my opinion. So, like this. Ideally, see consolidation and then breakout and continuing higher. Maybe even a deviation here, quick sweep and continuing higher. But like getting below all this price action that was built up here and losing it and breaking down below it and getting acceptance below it, then I'd be scared of it just continuing to bleed out then. You kind of want to see this area manage to hold, strength being shown, breakout, flipping kind of these levels here, and then looking for higher. Yeah, it even swept this high over here. That's interesting. Yeah, let me just draw a little diagram here real quick. kind of random, but all this price action for the past, we just switch colors here. However many days this is, 74 days. So 74 days of price action, all within this candle here, in this same range, basically. I mean, breakdown here, but in general, kind of just stuck in this consolidation in between this candles range. So probably where you see expansion is when you get above it. That's when you probably start to see some good expansion above a breakout higher. Breakdown below it and acceptance below it, that's when you probably see some continuation lower. Whenever you get acceptance outside of this candle range here, that's when you probably see expansion in either direction, whichever way it happens to be. Just go back to our altcoins here. Nice, we're in along 1 hour 200s. Man, it would be nice to get a push up over the weekend. I don't know if we get it though. Okay, that's all I have. If you don't have any more, then I'm going to end this. I am going to save this live stream here, and I'll upload it. And then if you want to rewatch it, you're welcome to rewatch it. I'll probably put it in the live stream channel for everyone. Any more chart requests? That it? Okay, you'll rewatch it. Great. Yeah, I'll try to have it uploaded here in a couple hours here, probably in about, if you give me like an hour here, I'll have it uploaded and everything. Yeah, so you can rewatch it. That's all I have. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Any of you watching, hopefully this was helpful. Enjoy your weekend and see you next time. Peace.